Audio Frontier.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is Wrestling Daft and is scheduled for 1 hour. Maybe more. It has no real time limits, making their way into your ears. First, from a place called Barneston, he is the Pyramid. Rab Florence.
It's going to be the funniest show ever because I'm all about the comedy and the money, baby.
How much you gonna pay?
And his partner, the top end of Stevenson.
From Mexico City to Beef Community Centre, I've got stories that are going to blow your mind.
Hello and welcome to Wrestling Daft. It is the year 2021. My name's Rab. Florence Grado is here as always. Grado, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I don't like when Happy New Year's out the window, mate. That's what the fuck is it?
Happy New Year is not out the window, mate, until it is. The first couple of weeks of January, I think, are fine, and we're still within that window, I would say. So, Happy New Year to you, mate.
It's alright doing it in a podcast, but if somebody come up to me in the street and said Happy New Year, which they're probably not allowed to do that these days, but I'd get mortified for them.
What if they hadn't seen you? Like run about New Year? So this was the first time they saw you. Is it not acceptable then?
Cut off's the 6th, 7th, the 9th at a push.
No, I would say 2 weeks. I would say there's a 2 week window, and then even so, I would still give people. I wouldn't resent anybody telling me Happy New Year any time of the fucking year. I could see somebody in July, and I've not seen them since the previous year, and they go, Happy New Year. Yeah, I'd be like, well, thanks for thinking of that. You know what I mean? Even coming into their head that late in the year would make me feel quite special.
Nah, I'm a bit funny with stuff like that, to be honest with you, mate.
No, let's just move on to see what the punters are up to, because this is it's about the fans, this podcast.
But before we get into that, can we address this, that Grado started watching wrestling again, Rab? We've found out that Grado started watching wrestling over the festive period. I think it needs to be addressed at the top of the show.
I don't like the sound of this. What are you doing watching wrestling?
I've kind of been missing it, and we've been locked down and all this carry on, and you're right, I've managed to fit in 3 or 4 shows. I watched the New Japan show. I watched 2 episodes of AEW. I can't get into WWE. And the night I would have tried to get last night's Impact in me, but I'm going to do that later on. I don't know, man. I've just been missing it. It's kind of brought. I've been into it. I've been watching documentaries and stuff like that. It's just I have missed it. It's been a while. So I've been watching a wee bit here and there. I have to say, I've been keeping my horn in, and but most of my, when I'm not watching basketball, when I'm not watching my Brooklyn Nets playing, as you can see on the hat. When did you really start liking basketball?
What?
When did you start liking basketball?
Yeah, I love basketball.
Are you doing, do you?
I'm the biggest basketball fan in Scotland.
It's your Cargo Bills.
I do Basketball Daft. You know, listen to Basketball Daft.
Who's your favourite player then?
It's me and the Crankies. I present it. Basketball Daft. They think it's called Swinging Daft. I've not told them.
Who's your favourite player? Michael Jordan?
Of all time or the new?
Who's the top dog now?
Well, the new my favourite.
Who's the Rangers of the basketball world?
The new my favourite player is I'm big on Jarrett Allen of the Brooklyn Nets, who's a young guy, 22 years old, who is just getting better and better with every passing season in the bubble. This is all part of a day in Basketball Daft. Let's know this. Let's see what the correspondence for the people has been over the past wee while. Now, somebody get in touch. This is Rory. We get in touch with us, and he says, "Hi Neil, currently working my way through the podcast, and episode 44, Grado says he went to his first Scottish independent show, and a wrestler called the Great Scott McKenzie was there. He went to uni down here in Northampton. Oh fuck, man, I've done a Scottish accent for this one. He went to uni down here in Northampton and learned, in the loosest possible sense of the word, to wrestle down here at a promotion called Brawl.
I remember Brawl.
As soon as Grado said he stunk, I knew who he was talking about. He was the big cheese at Brawl, and he used to run chop training for the young trainees, me at 14. Brawl brought over C.W. Anderson and Chili Willy in August 2001 after the demise of ECW. He worked Chili Willy and was the cock of the walk after that. He went over to the US to train under CW shortly after for 6 weeks, and on a show they had him dress up as Santa and had the heels attack him, which also involved a 12-inch black rubber dildo being shoved in his mouth. He came back to UK and disappeared shortly after. Love the podcast. Cheers, Rory. So that was Rory there, who is Scott McKenzie's stalker, just keeping us up to date with Scott McKenzie's career. Here,
Wow.
Did you enjoy that?
That was fucking... Oh, I hope the great Scott McKenzie isn't a listener to the show if he's still alive. This was 20 years ago, and wow, man,
Could have succumbed to the COVID. Easy, be in that age range, maybe.
You don't know. That Brawl show, I had that on tape as well. The Chili Willy and C.W. Anderson one.
Rotten. Hats off to Bronzello, who was able to get a quick screen grab of this from WWE on BT Sports Twitter account before it was deleted. WWE and BT Sports said, they tweeted out, "What is a crazy WWE fact that sounds fake but isn't?" And Meng's mullet replied, "Vince McMahon helped Jimmy Snuka get away with murder." This is a danger, isn't it? This is a danger when you open up your social media accounts. Social media is terrible. We asked on Twitter, by the way, speaking of social media, whether or not you get any wrestling presents for Christmas. So before we get to the listeners, Grado, did you get any wrestling presents for your Christmas?
Do you know what, man? I'm starting to think about it. Probably the first year I never got any wrestling. I mean, I got a Secret Santa thing for one of the troops at the radio, and it was a WWE Trumps card. WWE Trumps card, does that exist? So that's the only thing I got.
Trump set.
Aye, top Trump set. Did I call it top Trump set?
Aye, that's it. I bought a deck of top Trumps cards.
Is it like Fitbit stickers? I've not opened
It's
it.
like it's a game where you play a card and your opponent plays a card, and then whoever has the highest number in a chosen category is
Let's Snap, no Snap, but like Scabby Queen and all that kind of
It's
thing.
not like Scabby Queen. It's more like, what is it more like? It's more just simply a game of, you're trying to play the higher number than your opponent based on category. So let's say, for example,
Bruce Forsyth.
Grado could be charisma. Grado could be technical ability 80, charisma 92, height strength 75, blue nose 99. And then you play it against my card. So you put Grado down, and I would maybe put down Chris Sutton, for example, and you would say blue nose, and you go against Chris Sutton, who's a blue nose rating of 0, and Grado would win that in that category. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing.
Aye, cool, man. It's still in my boot along with the cake of Galaxy chocolate, so I might.
Why have you not ate the Galaxy chocolate?
I don't want to get into my eating habits, mate. I really
don't. I didn't get any wrestling presents because I'm a grown man. But let's see what the...
But what did you get?
What did I get?
Well, how can you say that? What is fucking behind you in that room? There's a Lord of the Rings shit. Star Wars and
Lord of the
fucking...
Rings shit. There's no Lord of the Rings shit behind me.
There is.
There's
Zelda,
nothing.
fucking...
Lord of the Rings. There's no Zelda behind me.
Warhammer.
There's Warhammer behind me. Let's
Cool, man.
Let's see what Andy got. Andy got a signed John Cena print and some baklava for his work Secret Santa. I hope you're not in the IRA for that baklava. Oh, baklava. I'm thinking balaclava. Sorry, Andy.
What is a baklava?
Baklava is like that. It's like a pastry. It's tasty, baklava. Paul gets spoiled. He got the autograph Finn Balor DVD, and the new Wrestling Daft Mark is here. Shut.
Okay. They still do DVDs?
DVDs still exist, aye. Well, you can get yours, by the way. If you want a Wrestling Daft t-shirt, remember, listeners, you can get yours at shop.spreadshirt.co.uk/Wrestling Daft. Kyle Customs, the maker of wrestling figures extraordinaire, big friend of the show, friend of the podcast. He got American football shoulder pads because he's going to convert them into Road Warrior /LOD style shoulder pads.
I've seen the update on Instagram. I've actually been following that. It does look pretty exciting. That guy could go all the way with all that stuff, by the way.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, that guy, if anybody's going to be able to turn a pair of shoulder pads into a pair of LOD shoulder pads, it's going to be Kyle Customs. Check out Kyle Customs on Twitter and stuff if you want to look into the custom wrestling figure business. Stevie got a Triple H / Motorhead t-shirt. Mick got a Wrestling Daft t-shirt. That's good.
Well done to everybody that got Wrestling Daft merch. That's cool, isn't it?
He's got a picture of his dick out. He sent us, but it looks
Fuck, I just noticed that.
He's covered his dick with a wee picture of my face. Appreciate that. Finally, thanks to Andrew Dice Clay, who brought to our attention a clip of Grado teaching Japanese wrestler Kikutaro to sing Donald, Where's Your Trousers? Let me do that again. And finally, thanks to Andrew Dice Clay, who brought to our attention a clip of Grado teaching Japanese wrestler Kikutaro, Donald, Where's Your Trousers? The famous Scottish song. Here we go. It's better than the actual lyrics. Love it. That was good. That was good. I like that. Grado, when was that? When was that you worked with him?
That was in the Midwest. December 2015, I believe we were travelling for Indianapolis, Indianapolis, to fucking, where were we going? It doesn't matter, but they were the days.
They were the days, eh? They were the days.
I feel like some fucking washed up, you know, you get the fucking pop bands that, you know, that team up together and release, you know, you get like the Cunt Fest Club 7, the Cunt for 5, man, they all look like junkies and sit together and talk about their stories from back in the 90s. That's what I feel like, you know?
Oh, mate, you're not... We don't think you're that, don't we know, John?
No, you're not washed up, Grado. You've got a good career ahead of you. I've still got hope for the WWE.
Mate, I'm doing the travel on the fucking radio in the morning.
Right, now, we always do the pun in. Well, it seems like we always do it now. We'll see how long we're going to run it this year, though. I feel as if it's coming to a natural end.
No, it's brilliant.
Oh, Rab, you're a touch. Come on,
Every
man.
week, we ask you to come up with puns based on wrestling. Loads of people having a dry January right now. No me, I have to say. So we thought we'd rub your noses in it by asking for alcohol-based wrestling puns this week. So here we go. Chris got in touch with Chief J Strongbow Dark Fruit. Or Jägermeister Perfect. Both good. Kev says the big boss Manhattan. Gustav says vodka Red Bull Buchanan. Tiger Ali Singer, 2 beers in one, and Bam Bam Biggle Lowenbrow. Kyle says hacksaw gin and tonic. Glasgow Bob, Greg the Hammered Valentine. John says King Kong Budweiser. Bailey's. Cactus Jack Daniels. Stephen says Dalo Brown Ale. And James says Jack Daniels Bryan. Pablo's Vault of Horror, get in touch with Glenn Jacobs Creek. RVWKD. Carling Black Label ICW. Boozer Brody. Oh man, Boozer Brody is good. And Heineken Reich. Scott says Sin Carling. Karate Warrior, get in touch with Sambuca T. And Peroni Saturn. Martin says Tennant's Special Delivery Jones. Ridley Hendricks, get in touch with Bobby the Brain Steeman. Mean Gin Okerlund. Lex Lager. The Honky Plonk Man. Johnny Wagician Super Lager.
Fucking brilliant.
Again beats that. Wagician Super Lager.
Oh my god.
Steve-O says Innocent BT Gun. Echo Falls Count Anywhere. Just Brad says CM Punk IPA. Rowdy Voddy Piper. Rum Simmons. And Maduri Funk Jr., which is great. Ladinoid says Tully Drunkard. Boozer T. Brandy Savage. And Jake the Jake Roberts.
Oh, fuck me, man.
John Cena Coladas, that came from Chad. And Craig got in touch with Ricky, the Dragon Soup Steamboat. The Big Red Stripe Machine. Jake the Snakebite Roberts. Big Mad Andy gave us Mad Dog Jesse James. Toast McSavage gave us Dolph Zinfandel. The Big Slow Gin. And Bexa Pished. And Degenerate 66 said Scott Hall. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. He said, making the joke that we asked just for alcoholics.
That's funny,
which
man.
is really distasteful.
That was really good.
Obviously, if anybody is dealing with alcohol-related issues at the minute, which is possible with everything that's going on, with the lockdowns, with the pandemic and stuff like that, then if you feel you're in need of talking to someone for some help or some guidance on that issue, then make sure to do that. I mean, it is an issue that's quite widespread, and I mean, I'm sure you must agree here, Grado. Are you getting to say on that front?
Drinkaware.co.uk.
And if you want, here, what we're going to do for the puns next week?
I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking fags. I don't know why.
Fags.
Have we done drugs?
Oh, not done drugs.
Have we done drugs?
We did medicine. But we've not done drugs.
I've never done aye. What about just fucking debauchery then? What about drugs and fags?
Well, fags is a drug.
Aye, you're right.
So,
Drugs
will we
and
do
fags.
drugs? That'll be
So
good.
we're like SmackDown, but you know what I mean? Fucking...
Eke Lynch.
Aye.
Oh.
Kid Hash. Kid Hash.
Yep. We're laughing.
Aye. We've got it.
Aye. So if you want to get in touch with us about any of that or just random wrestling related stuff, get us on Twitter at Wrestling Daft, on Insta at Wrestling Daft Podcast, just Wrestling Daft on Facebook. Our email is indeed at wrestlingdaft@gmail.com. Now, every week we like to separate the good for the bad in wrestling, the kids going to school for the homeschooling. Well, actually, John's written this again. I think it's good that the kids are homeschooling, so I don't know what John's suggesting here. John's suggesting we put our wains into school and have them spreading COVID. Is that what you're suggesting, John?
No, I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm just suggesting that homeschooling is a fucking absolute pain in the fucking hole, is what I'm suggesting.
Well,
Are you doing it the new, John?
Aye. I'm doing 2 children and trying to do a job, and they shouldn't be in schools. They absolutely shouldn't be in schools. My wife's a teacher, but it's a fucking hard graft, I'll tell you that much.
So obviously there's a lot to talk about here. There's a lot to talk about here in terms of burying and putting over and stuff like that. There's already been a Wrestling Daft episode out this week, and it was the Marks, right? And you had a chance there to talk about the kind of big shocker for before Christmas, which was Brody Lee passing away, which I think shocked every wrestling fan that was out there. So what were the boys saying about that, John?
I mean, it was just a shock to everyone, wasn't it? You saw the outpouring from like both sides of wrestling, AEW and WWE. I have to say, though, the show that AEW put on, the tribute show, was absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like that. With Wayne, hitting, giving the belt, it was absolutely incredible. And I don't know if you've seen the promo that what's his name's just completely escaped me.
Eric Rowan.
Not Eric Rowan. Oh, God. He just came out to AEW recently. You're a big fan of him, Rab. And his name's
Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston. I don't
The one he did backstage.
The one he did backstage after the show is one of the most incredible moments I've seen in wrestling in a long time, and it was just an absolute shock, and AEW done, I think, an incredible job, and saying that, WWE have come out as well and done a great job. So listen,
You'll struggle to find a death that's affected the wrestling community as much as what it has. It's affected a lot of people. Not one bad word to say about the guy. Total family man. It's just a horrible story. Horrible
you never worked
story.
from Grado, did you?
I never worked. I met him once. Fun enough, he was with his family. It was in New Orleans, and you couldn't meet a nicer guy. And you're right, man. I can tell why he's right up your street, Rab. Definitely.
He was a guy. He was. I mean, I loved him when he was in WWE, and really hoped that they would do more with him because he's. I always talk about how I love these big men that can just really, really go, and he just had. And you know, you can go to, but obviously it was a big shock at the time. It was really sad because it's like he's, you know, just his kids and all that kind of stuff. And then you think as a dad yourself, it's just like the worst. It's the worst thing, and the biggest shock. And I do think they handled it all beautifully, and all the stuff they did with his wee boy and all that, and you know, bringing his wee boy, making his wee boy really feel like he had a wider family around him. I mean, he had that support of a wider family around him, and it was really moving when you were seeing people like Cody, you know, in with the wee guy, because Cody's lost his dad as well. You know what I mean? And I know Cody's a grown man who lost his dad, but which is on a different level. But I think when you've lost your dad, you know what I mean. You know what that feels like. Doesn't matter whether you're 8 or you're 10 or you're 30 or you're 40 or you're 50. It's something you feel really keenly, and I think they did that really beautifully. But there's a lot of happiness to take out of it as well, because man, fuck me, I would love it if after I passed away, people spoke about me like that. You know what I mean? It's like, that's just, you've lived a great life, and you know, he lived a short life and was you know, passed away way too soon. But man, to have people speak of you that highly and to be that moved, and like you say, Grado, nobody with a bad word to say, and with a family that loved you, and we you know, your colleagues that loved you, and friends that loved you, and bosses that loved you, and trainees that loved you, and you know, just fans, people that passed through his life and stuff like that. And it's just, hopefully in time, you know, I'm sure everybody's going to help his kids see that as well, that's like, it's special having that. It's special in this fucking world, man. It's special having a dad who made so many people so happy, and that felt so good to have known him. You know what I mean? I hope that's the one positive that they can take going forward. And I think the other positive will be that, you know, that family will be looked after by everybody. You know what I mean? 100%.
Why?
But I love it. It makes me. It's an extremely sad thing, and it was an extremely upsetting thing when it happened. But I think when you look at it now, it makes you smile about wrestling. That's like one of the positive sides of wrestling, when you can see that outpouring of love for people who all love the same thing, and all recognise somebody who put a good face on wrestling. You know what I mean?
You know, it's like John Moxley can say it better when he was talking about it, how it's wrestling's a community, and it is, man. It's like, you know, they fit my daft, you do basketball daft, Rab. But wrestling daft, it does feel like there's something about the wrestling community. It's like we're all, I mean, it's weird, like I wouldn't say we're all a team, but we are kind of all a team, because it's a kind of weird thing that we're into. It is a bit unnormal, isn't it? The obsession that we have, especially the obsession that we get, like the extremities to the obsession that we've got with. I mean, I paid £25 to watch a documentary about how a belt was made the other day.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think the difference is you do football daft, and I do basketball daft, like you said, and you know, and we're fans of our sports and stuff like that. And they things are great because they're tribal. You know what I mean? Like Rangers fans know it's a tribe, and Celtic fans know it's a tribe, and fans of the Lakers it's a tribe, and fans of the Brooklyn Nets it's a tribe. But wrestling is all one big tribe. There's maybe different companies and different promotions, but when it gets right down to the nitty gritty, we're all one. We're all one tribe. And so when one great example of what we all love, which and in truth what we all love is, we don't actually love the wrestlers who are great in the ring and all of that, but they're fucking arseholes backstage. We don't love them. Nobody likes hearing that story. Anybody that says they do like hearing that story about a wrestler is lying to themselves. What we like to hear is somebody who's great in the ring, somebody who's great on the mic, and all the boys and all the women in the back loved them as well. You know what I mean? That's what you want to hear. You know what I mean? That's they're the guys we really love, and I think we feel it strongly when they go, because they fit that ideal of what we want wrestling to be.
It's like you hear the stories of Owen Hart, kind of reminds you of that, doesn't it? Because not one person had a bad word to say about him, and the stories you hear about Owen Hart are like, you want to know more, don't you? Like,
aye.
I remember just like talking to Jeff Jarrett one night, tell me stories about Owen Hart, and tell me all the different ribs he used to play and how they used to travel together, and they knew this. you know, it was running about WrestleMania time, and this woman who used to do like their gear, and he used to look after them and look after their flights and stuff like that, and he was telling me about the relationship Owen had with this old woman, and it was amazing hearing the stories, and you just think, what a great guy. And I think that's going to be the case with Brodie Lee for years to come as well. Everybody will have the same sort of sentiment, the same kind of love for what they did for Owen Hart.
Aye. There's one mere wee thing I want to say about there was a wee bit of business happening after Brodie Lee passed away with the fucking dirt sheets.
Oh, mate, fuck me, man.
No.
Wow.
We must never forget this, and it's, I think wrestling fans should be duty bound to remember this. Dirt sheets are referred to as the dirt sheets for a reason. It's because they are trash. They are trashy, dirty. It's a dirty business where writers, who I'm not even convinced are 100% fans of wrestling, just try and gain traction among a fan base. Among that tribe that I'm talking about, they try and gain traction by spreading gossip and spreading malicious rumour. And that's how they always were. We talk about how the wrestlers back in the day used to read the dirt sheets and stuff like that, and they used to hate the dirt sheets and they used to hate the dirt sheet writers and that. And there was a fucking reason for that. And the reason for that was these people won their loyalty. They won their loyalty, the spirit of wrestling, or they won their loyalty. All they cared about was getting some kind of access and inside information that would allow them to create controversy, to draw more eyes onto them, and that's only get worse. But what's happened lately, I think, which is a fucking mistake, is that some of these fucking dirt sheet writers who were scum 20 years ago are now held up as if they're like important figures in the fucking wrestling industry. They've been forgiven for their misdemeanors over the years, and they were fucking scum 20 years ago, and they're still scum today. They're still scum today. The only difference is now they have a fan base of wrestling fans who've been fucking sucked in to listen to their shite, to gain that. And now they have a mere traction with, in terms of getting inside information and stuff like that. But they're still, at their fucking core, they're still the kind of trash journalists, the trash writers that in most other areas we don't fucking put up with anymore. But yet wrestling fans still get stuck in. But just fucking ditch these cunts, man. Unfollow them. Unfollow them on the social media accounts. Stop fucking listening to them. Nowadays, when you have more access to wrestlers as real living people than you ever did before, when you can go on Twitch and talk to wrestlers, when you can tweet at wrestlers, when you don't need these fucking dirt sheet people anymore. No. They were scum 20 years ago and they're still scum today, so don't act surprised when they try and profit on a tragedy. No, because it's the same thing they would have done fucking 20 years ago, and did they 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago? No.
Fucking here, by the way. Here. And I admit to myself, right, I put my hands up a couple of years ago, I'd say maybe about 5-6 years ago. I was guilty of, like, no praising these guys, but I remember one time having a match in America, and then the next night in saying to Al Snow, I'm not going to say which guy it was, but he basically said, oh, he buried the match last night, and he messaged me about it, and I was talking to him back and forth, which was true. And Al Snow went through me, man. Went through me. He was like, fucking stop that now. He was like, do not be getting hard-ons for these fucking internet journalists. He was like, this is pathetic. He goes, people that fucking... These people are like, Meltzer is... I've met Meltzer a few times. That actually happened to quite like the guy, even though I don't agree with the stuff he posts. I wasn't happy a couple of months ago when Bob Ryder died, and it was up on his
fucking disgraceful
before TNA had fucking even announced it themselves. And he's the biggest worker out of them all. He's the biggest worker out of all the boys. How he's managed to do this for years and still turn a coin out it and make people think that everything he says is gospel and it's the right way of thinking. It's like, you know me, I don't... These matches where they're meant to be 5 and 6 stars, I watch them, it's no my fucking... Mm-hmm. It's no my scene, it's no my kind of favourite type of wrestling. But that kind of... People try to... It feels as if they go out their way to impress these kind of guys. And...
Well, the only people that can take the power off of these people, the power away from these people, are the wrestling fans. You fucking stop listening to them, and it's moments like that. It's moments when there are always moments. Just look out for them. There's always moments when these people show their true colours, Like you said, Grado, about breaking the news of that death before a family had even been fucking properly notified, to the situation with Brody Lee and Brody Lee's wife having to step in to defend the situation. It's they always show their true colours, so just don't give them any more oxygen, man. Just like they've always have been scum. They're called dirt sheets for a reason. Okay, anyway, let's get back to what the show is. John wants to bury Drew testing positive for COVID. He hopes the big man gets well soon. Obviously, we all want to say that as well. Sure, he'll be fine. Big Drew will be fine. And he wants to put over WWE starting to push Nakamura. Are they, though? Let's wait and see on that front. David wants to put over Omega versus Phoenix. Did you watch that, Grado?
I did. And again, during that show, there was... what do you call him? Big fucking Swagger and Warlord, whatever you call him. I enjoyed that more. And I'm not trying to fucking look at me. I like the other. I don't like these matches, but I genuinely feel as if I've saw the type of matches fucking a lot recently. And it's just not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea at all. What did you watch it, John? Did you watch it, Rab?
I've not seen Omega vs Phoenix. I heard it was really good, but
5-star. I mean, it was. Listen, it was a great match. It really was a good match, but I kind of fell asleep halfway through it. I mean, they are amazing at what they do. I generally think out of all the guys that do all that, Phoenix is the best. That Ray Phoenix is shit hot, man. He is the top dog at all that stuff.
Willie wants to say that he's not got anything to bury this week because he stopped watching Raw. But he does want to put over Nakamura in the gauntlet match on SmackDown. Almost forgot how good he can be. Willie still gave up on Raw, but he's still staying loyal to WWE. Ross is burying Goldberg. Give a bit of background for everybody. Goldberg's back, obviously challenging Drew for the title at Royal Rumble.
Which you know what? I'm excited to see that. I really am.
Let me tell you something.
It's just the respect thing was a bit stupid.
Let me tell you something. Fucking Drew fucking is loving the fact he's fighting fucking Goldberg.
I can put my money on it. Fucking big time.
Drew is going to be loving... You think they're going to come up to Drew and say, listen, we think we want you to work a programme with Goldberg, and he's going to fucking put his foot down and go, I'm not doing that. Is he fuck, man? Aye. You're wanting to fucking fight Goldberg. You want to beat the fucking... the top dogs. You need to remember the individuals that are involved here. You need to remember that wrestling is a people game. And if Vince McMahon's going to come to Drew and say, listen, we're going to stick you in with Goldberg, main event, Royal Rumble, fuck, man, you're going to do it. Of course you're going to do it. Amazing. It's fucking Goldberg.
What if Goldberg wins the belt, though?
Who cares?
What about it?
Who
it's
cares?
A fucking work, brother.
Who cares if Goldberg wins the belt? Goldberg, I would say, still legitimately has star power. He has star power. He's still
absolutely. The Waynes will love him. And do you know what? See if he was to beat Drew, which obviously... I'm sure he wouldn't care about. Fucking internet was exploding. I'd love to see all the greeting faces. It'd be a good laugh.
I don't think he will, though.
They will, me?
I don't think he will. But anyway, Ross hates the idea. He says the old man should just walk away. Waste of a main event slot they could be given to someone.
How is it? Because they won't every other month anyway.
Grado, listen to this. Waste of a main event slot they could be giving to someone like Keith Lee. Who would fucking take Drew versus Keith Lee when I'm sitting down with my snacks to watch the Royal Rumble, right, with my daughter? Are you asking me, would I rather see Scottish champion Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg or Drew versus fucking Keith Lee while I'm eating my Doritos? I could take Goldberg every time.
Mate, that's not... That big guy is a big agile fucker. He's fucking good at what he does, but again, that isn't my scene either, man. I don't... You know, I mean, it's alright to watch, but it's...
But you know, I like Keith Lee.
I like him and all, but
he's no there yet. We don't need to put two new stars in the one match. Get a fucking new star, which is Drew, in with one of the old stars, one of the legends. I'm happy to watch that. I'm happy to watch that until there's a point where he can't go. And Goldberg at the moment can still go enough. Jonathan wants to put all the support and love the wrestling world shown to Brody Lee's family and bury all the wee fannies trying to make it a brand war. I don't think there was that many people actually trying to make it a brand war, if we're being honest. I think it was a very small minority on Twitter. who were doing all the AEW, WWE stuff. I don't think it was really there. Ryan wants to bury the Raw Legends show. A week and a half on, and I still feel dirty for it. Fucking Hulk Hogan, man. What the fuck? Listen, the Legends, this was the first time I kind of felt watching one of these Legends shows that I was like, these Legends, the shine has faded for these Legends now. It was pretty slim pickings. So I kind of agree with that there. It wasn't good. Scott wants to put over a Bullet Club reunion on Dynamite.
That was cool.
And wants to bury the whole Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss, The Fiend angle. When I thought I'd seen it all with Randy literally murdering the both of them over the past few weeks. We've now got Alexa shooting fire out her horn at him. Absolutely no idea where that angle goes for here. It's... I mean, I would like to say I warned you months ago when you were all going, oh, Alexa Bliss going with The Fiend is brilliant, it's dead exciting. It is fucking rotten. Still rotten. And you've got Randy Orton there who is just fantastic. Please stick him in a program with a proper professional wrestler who we know at the culmination of that program we're going to get a great wrestling match. Please do that. No harm to Alexa Bliss, no harm to The Fiend, but Randy Orton is so far above that level, he shouldn't be fucking slumming it there for me. Jamie wants to bury the continued burial of Ricochet in WWE. Boys are starting hardly gets a look in. And wants to put over Karrion Kross's return. Won't belong to that boys in the main roster. Absolute machine. I'm a big fan of Karrion Kross. I think the two of them have got a great look. Excited to see where that goes. They're kind of like what The Fiend and Alexa Bliss wish they were. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
But currently, The Fiend and Alexa Bliss is like two people that turn up at Comic Con. A fat guy and a wee lassie. Dressed up in the cute fucking Comic Con.
You're not for Ryan, you know, really.
Paul wants to put over the AEW tribute show to Brody Lee. Great shows over the festive season. Wrestle Kingdom he enjoyed as well. And wants to bury Raw. It's been stinking lately. But the Triple H return this week and the Alexa, Randy Orton stuff. So there you go. That proves me rank because Paul liked it. Paul likes that kind of stuff. The lassies firing the fireballs in people's face and stuff like that. So, aye. So that's that. I could be right. And remember, I'm only playing a character on this show anyway. So
I me as well, man.
So it might not be my real opinions at all.
I'm not wanting fucking big Keith Lee pulling me up, man.
I want The Fiend away. I want him to go back to being Bray Wyatt. I want him to go back to being Bray Wyatt so he can cut promos properly and stuff like that again. I think...
I like The Fiend, man.
I would love to have... I would love to write. I would love to see Vince McMahon, you know, that dream you always have. Vince McMahon gives you a job at WWE and he goes, right, what do you want to do here? I'd be like, put me with the fucking Fiend. Put me with Bray Wyatt. Let me write some storylines. Let me write, because he's a talent. He's got a great mind, I think.
Fucking definitely, man. Bring back, remember he was in the old cowboy boots and all that, fucking Dusty Springfield and all that. What was his name again?
I criticise his wrestling matches because I do think his matches aren't good. But the reason why his matches aren't good, I think, is because he's so invested in making the character work that it gets in the way of the good matches. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of feel like a balance has to be struck there because I just feel as if we've still not seen him at his best. It's frustrating. You know what I mean?
Aye. What was he called again? Husky Harris. Could you imagine come back as Husky Harris, man?
I think it's, anyway,
that's stupid. Sorry.
Anyway, it's good that he has some time off. Obviously, he's lost his friend and stuff like that, and I think it's good that he has some time away. And I think I'm so hard on The Fiend all the time because I think there's massive potential there for. I wish there was somebody at the WWE who recognised how great a mind he has for performance and for all that, and be able to just kind of tweak it into something. I don't think they know how to use them right. I don't get it. As a part of the show, we invite you, the listeners, to do a run-in now. Come on and ask Grado what his New Year resolution is, or ask me what the best wrestling game of all time is. Which, by the way, a new wrestling game came out just this week on the Switch. I'm very excited. Hopefully we'll get to talk about that in future episodes. Let's welcome to this week's run-in. Stephen McCarthy. Stevie, where are you, brother?
Hello, Stephen.
How you doing, Rob?
How you doing, mate? You all right?
How you doing, mate?
Not bad. I thought Adam was well going to Dubai there. Jesus Christ.
What?
I said it took that long. Adam was well going to Dubai.
What team do you support?
I'm a Celtic man.
Would you make a Peter Lawwell statement there? The video, you watched it yet?
I just put it on Twitter there, birthday cared pish. Terrible.
I've not seen it yet.
Honestly.
I've not
I've
seen
had a
it.
season ticket for 22 years, and honestly, it's just...
Right, calm down, it's no Clyde.
Aye, honestly.
It scunners you though, doesn't it? It scunners you. It's the fucking attitude in him, isn't it?
It's pure it should be called Gallus.
They should be fucking falling on their knees and apologising, the lot of them.
Aye.
That photo of them by the pool drinking the pints, man.
It was like, we're sorry, but we're no sorry. That's exactly what it was.
Fucking disgraceful. They're
I mean,
acting
obviously,
like
that's a
wrestlers. They're acting like wrestlers.
Aye, it was a kind of wrestling kind of...
It's a heel turn. It's like Celtic are turning heel on their own fans. That's what it's like. They're like, 10 in a row, fuck it then. That's what you do. Like, see if you were scripting it. See if you were like scripting Celtic, right? Babyface Celtic for a heel turn. This would be the timing, right? This is when you'd pull the trigger on it. You'd go, right, have them come out. So they're going to win the league 9 years in a fucking row, right? Here's a streak. And they're going to come out and they're dead certs to fucking win the 10, right? They're going to come out and then they're just going to turn up and they're going to turn around to the fans and go, fuck it then. We're away on our fucking holidays, you idiots. We're away on our holidays. What? What are we saying sorry for? No. I'm not sorry. Never done anything wrong. Oh, there's a virus and we've caught it now and we've brought it back. We're spreading the virus about now. So fuck.
It's a great analogy, man.
So that's what it's like.
Them.
If you were fucking writing it, this is what you would write. We fucking won 9. What he's wanting? Fuck off, man. He's wanting us to win fucking 10. Fuck off. Meaningless. It's fucking annoying. It's annoying. How dare they?
Keep going, man.
And then they're making out the Celtic supporters are the baddies for fucking going, don't come down to the stadium because COVID and that. Don't come out here away in the fucking holiday with our pints. Sitting back. No, this is Wrestling Daft, but I spoke about it in Basketball Daft as well. It's no... Anyway, how you doing, Stevie? Sorry.
Aye, not bad, Rab. Not bad, mate.
So what's your story, Stevie? What do you do for a living? What are you married? Are you got a girlfriend? Are you
I'm a team manager for the gas board.
Was there some gas striking business happening recently?
That was British Gas, but it's SGN and we transport it.
Right,
if you smell gas, we come out and sort it.
And have you got any wains or have you?
Aye, I've got a daughter. She's 7. I was married, but me and my missus split up. So I started watching wrestling again. That's basically what happened.
That's what
did you know? Is that why you split up? Because you started watching wrestling again?
No, it was just one of the things. We drifted apart, Rob. Mate.
Wait, is he?
32.
It's sad when it happens that way. You don't want it with the drifting apart and stuff. How long were you together?
10 years.
10 years, aye. It was like with my ex. We were together for 16 years. 16
I was 13, years. Mate. Aye.
And then it was the same kind of story. Just over the years, it's
hard when you've got
no big dramatic incident or anything. Just
no big dramatic incident.
No, there was nobody else involved. Just drifted apart.
So what have you been enjoying since you get back into wrestling again?
Not as much. Raw's terrible. SmackDown, I enjoyed AEW's impressed me a lot recently, and I didn't think I would like it, but I do. But it is a wee bit too flippy dippy for me. Just a wee bit. I prefer a story. You know what I mean?
Raw's too long, and I think ever since Raw went to 3 hours, it's never been good, really.
Aye, I watched the one that was on Monday there, and it was honestly.
Do you miss the fans being there?
Say again, fans. Aye.
Do you miss the fans being in the room with them?
Oh, big time! Aye. I was talking to John. I was on the March one before, and I've never been to an ICW event. I'd love to go to one. So when it comes back, I'm there. I'm going.
Aye. The thing is with ICW, man, it's like even if you're not a wrestling fan, I ken loads of folk that are right at the start, and I'd go, right, come and see this, and they'd be fucking mega blown away. They'd be like, look, I'm not a fan of wrestling, but that is a brilliant night out.
Aye, I'd love to go. It'd be brilliant. I've watched a bit on the network.
I don't think it's the same. Like, I mean, it's that the actual stuff on the network. I watched some of that. It's been really, really good. The wrestling's been brilliant, but ICW is not about empty arenas and stuff like that. It's all about the big part of ICW is the crowd. That's what makes
it's good that
you get back, Grado. You get back to it. ICW?
I'll be back. I just have no nick to be fucking wrestling now. As I say, I'm struggling to walk up the stairs without getting out of breath.
It's good that they've got like, because Shah was working again and stuff, you know what I mean? And it's good to
Coach was there.
It's good that that's happening. It's, you know, allowing somebody like Shah to kind of get back. And so obviously he was laid out with an injury for a long time as well, you know what I mean?
I've got a question. What made you stop watching wrestling? Because it happens to a lot of people.
I broke my virginity. And I went away for years and years, and then, no, you know what wrestling's like? It's one of the ones like, oh, I like it because my nephew likes it and all that. You never actually want to go, I like watching guys in spandex wrestling.
If you don't have mates that are into it, then it's you know, sometimes you can find yourself a bit isolated in terms of how to talk about it with.
I've got my big mate, we call him Viscera. Does
he look like Viscera?
So he's in the question. I'll go for you, Rab. He's I need you to settle something.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Right. So I want you to say, so mate, as I say, me and my big mate, Ford Kiernan, right? He was on a podcast recently, right? And I thought he was a good guy, but my big mate said he's a wank. Can you confirm if he's a good guy or a wank?
Right. Okay. I'm going to tell you a story about Ford Kiernan, right? And you can tell me the answer to that question, right? Years ago, we were doing Chewing the Fat. Me and Ian Connell were writers on it, and we wrote the big man character, right? The kind of gangster character that Ford Kiernan did. And now, when you write for a show like that, basically you write the stuff and you sign the contract, and nothing belongs to you, right? So it's like you write it, give it away. And it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to them. You've got no rights to any of it. Ford Kiernan, this was when Chewing the Fat was really successful. Ford Kiernan got an advert gig on the radio playing the big man character, right?
Right.
And he came up with all the bits himself. We never wrote any of the stuff or anything like that, right? But he just got that gig and got some money in his pocket for doing that character. And one day I was in a house, my ma comes to me and she goes, Ford Kiernan's on the phone. And I was like, what? She says, Ford Kiernan's on the phone. I was like, why would Ford Kiernan be fucking on the phone? Right? I went and took the phone. There's Ford Kiernan on the phone, and he says, listen, I've been offered this radio gig for doing this character. I know you wrote it and stuff like that, but I just want to, what's your address? I want to send you a cheque for $1,000.
Fucking hell, man.
And I was like, no rights to the character, no need for him to do that.
Aye.
And I was just a young guy at the time as well. Like, somebody saying, I'm going to send you a cheque for $1,000 was like a fucking massive deal. You know what I mean? When he didn't have to do it, didn't have to ring us, didn't have to do it or anything like that. So that's my answer to your question.
Right, so I'm right then. Brilliant. I'll let him go.
Have you got one for Grado?
Aye, I've got one. Grado. Right, so you seen the film Castaway?
I love it.
Right, so see if you were stuck in a desert island, what's the one thing you would have in your bum bag?
In my bum bag. See, this is pathetic that I'm thinking about this, right? This is fucking pathetic, but see, now it's my fucking vape. It's ridiculous. It's bad. I mean, it's bad, and I know that's not an exciting answer. But I've had time to think about this. I don't know how you cope with this vape, but this is taking over my life. This is one of the things I get embarrassed about. I smoked for about 2 weeks when I was 16, 17 year old, right? I smoked the Royals, and then I gave it up, and then started smoking again, and I tried to join the police, and I had to do a running test, a bleak test, so I packed it, and then it was only, I was one of the fucking losers, you know, when you're in the booze and all that, and I get twos in the fag and all that, kind tapping folk fags. You don't smoke, I do. Okay, what I mean? I do. And I kind of did that all the way I was up to. Funnily enough, when up until my fucking relationship ended, I was like, fuck it, man, I'm buying fags, and I was like, I fucking love this, man. I fucking love this. And I swear to God, it was the most embarrassing thing ever. I was smoking 40 a day. I met the lassie who I'm with now, and I basically would hang out her fucking bedroom window. I know this makes it sound as if she's young, but she stays in a fucking house where there's like all her families in it, right? Long story, but and I was embarrassed fucking hanging out this window, smoking 40 a day. She ended up getting me onto the vape, and I think I'd like it. But mate, this has such a fucking grip on me now, man. I wake up at 2 in the morning, I'll go for a piss, and I'll fucking vape on it. I get affronted when I listen back to podcasts and you can hear me soaking it. I lost it in Christmas Eve, and I'm fucking running about emergency trying to, I need a vape. It's pathetic, so I just wanted to get that out of my system. I don't know how you cope with it, but it's fucking annoying.
Was that the answer you were looking for, Stevie?
Aye, no, that does me, boys. Sorted.
An existential crisis there for Grado about his vape. So you can find out more of that chat on Grado and Stevie's new show, Vape Daft, which will be coming down the line. Stevie, thanks so much for coming on.
Cheers, Rob.
And
Cheers,
speaking so
Rob.
openly about your personal life and stuff like that, which is always good, which I always encourage guys should do merry. So onwards and upwards, mate. And I hope you have a good 2021.
Thanks, boys. Cheers.
Right, it's lockdown again, and people are going daft for the telly and trying to cram in as much stuff as they can to watch. I myself, I've been watching a wee bit actual. I've not actually mentioned this, but I've been watching Lucha Underground. Do you know that ExpressVPN, you can use that to try and unlock that? John, I don't know if you're aware of that. You should get to
I
that.
know we were talking about in the March. You can get onto ExpressVPN and unlock the Netflix USA, and I think Lucha Underground's still up there, isn't it?
It is still up there. I watched it last week. It's good. You stick on ExpressVPN, and it changes basically where you are, and you can control where the sites think you're located. Now, you just open the app, you select your location. I sometimes put in, well, you need to put in actually America. You can use Mexico as well. I think it's any of the Americas you can use to try and unlock that. But you press one button to connect, you refresh the page, and you've got access to thousands of new shows and movies. There's 100 different countries on there, so you can supercharge your Netflix subscription, and you can get more content. You can get The Dark Knight and the Brooklyn 999. That's on the Canadian Netflix. You've got Rick and Morty on the France Netflix, because sometimes that comes on and comes off. You've even got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episodes. That comes up if you're on the Australian Netflix. So it works with any streaming service you can. There's Hulu, BBC iPlayer, YouTube, and you can get access to the free streaming service Peacock. Just change your location to US. So, well, why do you want to choose ExpressVPN over the other VPNs? Because there's hundreds out there, but you can stream in HD, no bother. There's no buffering, there's no lag. It's basically compatible with all the devices. Phones, laptops, media consoles, smart tellies, loads of stuff. Not only that, it lets you change your location. It also encrypts your data, and it lets you surf the web safely and anonymously. So go to expressvpn.com/wrestling to get an extra 3 months at ExpressVPN for free. So that's expressvpn.com/wrestling.
You just made the list!
Now, every week we run down a chart of something wrestling related on our list of Wrestling Daft. You can vote for what you want us to talk about at patreon.com/Wrestling Daft. As it's January, we thought we would look to the year ahead and ask you to vote between either who we think is going to be big in 2021 or some outlandish predictions for 2021. And with 84% of the vote, it was the outlandish predictions that won. So here's my top 3 outlandish predictions of 2021, right? My number 3 is that there is going to be a Goldberg title reign that is going to be ended by not who you think is going to end it. Drew's not going to win it back. Roman Reigns isn't going to win the belt off him or anything like that. It's not going to be the Fiend. It's going to be a returning Brock Lesnar who takes the title off Goldberg. So that's my number 3 prediction, is Brock Lesnar returning to defeat Goldberg and take the title. What do you think about that, Grado?
Aye, as I say, I think Goldberg will be used this year. It's quite obviously Vince kind of turns to him in times of need when the old ratings are going down the old toilet. And Brock as well. I don't mind watching another Brock and Lesnar match. Their match at Mania where they actually went 8 or 9 minutes. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
My number 2 prediction is that Undertaker is going to show up at AEW and is going to be involved in a match with Sting.
The Gravedigger, Mark Callis.
That is going to be happening. Sting versus Undertaker is going to be happening in AEW towards the end of 2021, and it's going to be astonishing. But not quite as astonishing as my number 1 outlandish prediction for 2021. Who is going to make an appearance in WWE, hugely controversially, as a heel manager in 2021? Donald Trump. Donald Trump is going to be on WWE programming in 2021 as a heel manager, and he is going to have an altercation with Roman Reigns about who is the head of the table. Trump and Roman Reigns against each other, and people are going to be disgusted and shocked that WWE would do this, and Vince is going to be rubbing his horns as his ratings go through the fucking roof. So that's my number one outlandish prediction 2021. You are going to see Donald Trump returning. Hall of Famer, WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump returning to WWE. Might even see Mick Foley in the mix in there. He did suggest that Donald Trump should have his Hall of Fame ring taken off him. So anything can happen in the WWE.
That's a work, you're right.
Okay, let's see what... That was a fucking belter, wasn't it? You've never thought about that, did you?
Rab, that was tremendous, mate. You're good at this shit, man.
You've never thought about that, did you?
Nah.
Right.
I thought you were going to say you.
No. Sadly not. I wish. Right, so here's what the punters are saying. Oh, for fuck's sake, Chris, the very first one there, Donald Trump will appear on fucking an episode of WWE TV this year.
That's funny, man. I
can't fucking believe that. Like, I genuinely can't fucking believe that. I thought I would have had the most original thought in the world there. Chris is also suggesting that CM Punk will fight Cody Rhodes in AEW in front of his biggest ever audience. It wouldn't be his biggest ever audience. And Ronda Rousey will return and win the Intercontinental title. She'll then feud with Becky over it. I would love Ronda Rousey to return. I'm hoping that isn't an outlandish prediction. Jamie says CM Punk comes back to WWE. Never happening. AEW has a UK pay-per-view by the end of the year. Don't see that either.
Don't see it happening, only the reason because of the pandemic. But
yeah,
I think it would have happened by now.
Ross says for Baszler to start a feud with Jackson and beat her clean in minutes. That's no fucking outlandish. That's just a prediction. That could happen next week. Mm-hmm. Ross, that could happen next week. Going to beat... I'm not doing any more. Sorry, Ross. It has to be more outlandish than that. John says Keith Lee is WWE champion. That's not that outlandish, I don't think. Fans back in venues, that's outlandish. Tony Khan buying Impact.
That's outlandish.
That's not
and that probably would have surprised me.
Chris says Adam Cole to win the WWE or Universal Championship, the most outlandish prediction of all of these fucking predictions. Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn end up in the AEW. That's not happening. Willie says at least one episode of Dynamite this year will get a higher overall rating than an episode of Raw.
I don't think that's outlandish, by the way.
I don't think it's outlandish. I think that could happen. Karate Warrior 2, probably not so outlandish, but Fox gets tired of WWE's crap ratings and creative and just buys out the whole damn thing and runs it themselves. Very outlandish. That's not happening.
How much is Tony Khan worth, by the way? Because a lot of people sometimes forget that the company that owns TA Impact Anthem, their net worth yearly is always like 100 billion. It would need to be in their interest to kind of sell that on. You would never think it, but it's Anthem's a fucking mega company, man.
Okay, Henderson Experience says New Day in a triple threat at some point versus Drew. New Day in a triple threat at some point against each other, he's meaning?
Yeah.
Don't see that. That's quite outlandish, I think. Drew versus Triple H. That's not that outlandish, I don't think. I don't think that's outlandish. Davey says, do you remember the WWF magazine used to make predictions in January? I'm sure Russo was behind that. Well, the January 97 magazine said of Brian Pillman, is this the year he finally explodes? And he died in October. Interesting wee factoid for you.
Just want to retract that statement. That Anthem, 100 billion is a lot of shit. That's for a pharmaceutical company called Anthem. But I know it's up there.
So Anthem's turnover is actually just £100 a year. And that's just for you, Grado, buying Impact pay-per-views. Stephen says Charlotte versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Extremely outlandish. Lee says CM Punk returns at a Rumble. Complete nonsense. Derek says Grado to win the Rumble and reveal Rab as his manager. Well, I think that's that outlandish, to be honest.
If there was a green corridor, then maybe I.
Grado beats Roman for the title at WrestleMania, then gets called out by Bingo Balance. How good would that be? That'd Vince, be great, if you're listening, we are open to talk. We talk about it. Woo! If you want to get some Wrestling Daft merch, by the way, if you want to be part of this tribe that we're talking about here, the Wrestling Daft tribe, we've got loads of new designs. I don't know what to tell you about this. We've got the Marcus here, a picture of the Wrestling Daft belt on it. We've got Wrestling's Kid on, Wrestling's Kid On is the best fucking wrestling t-shirt there is in existence. And one with a mortal quote for the immortal Hulk Hogan: "Good night, Hulkamaniacs and jabroni marks without a life. It don't know it's a work when you work a work and work yourself into shoot marks," which he still hasn't sent a cease and desist for, so get it before the cease and desist lands.
Tried it.
Not only that, we've got hoodies, face masks, phone covers, all that kind of stuff. Shop.spreadshirt.co.uk/Wrestling Daft, or check out the links on our Facebook page or Twitter at Wrestling Daft. Imagine you were a wrestler on the way back for a show and you wanted to pop the boys. What's the one story you could tell that would put you over? Well, me and Grado are jumping in the motor and we wanted to tell your story, so let's open this car and get started.
Do you get any Febreze left, mate?
Yeah. Nah, man, I don't care. I just think it's when we hit the next town, I'll go to a proper laundrette and all that, get something. There's a woman I know that does sorts me out now.
Cool. That was a good house tonight, man.
Oh, it was. I managed to shift a lot of merch in there.
Fucking beef's great.
The fucking Mark's in there. The Mark town, innit?
Fucking right, beef is filling them, straws. Anyway, let me tell you a wee story.
Oh yeah, a story for me. Beautiful.
It's about 20-year-old. Must have been year 2000 actually. I would have been about 23. Some folks say I was in my prime at 23.
You were, mate. You were.
Well, a group of my mates, it was about 8 years, we saved up for a year. We did a ski season in Whistler, Canada. Beautiful
ski
place.
Season in Whistler, Canada.
4 months we spent smoking joints, skiing, going out 5 nights a week. Good times, by the way. Stayed in the cheapest accommodation I could find. Was essentially a kind of dodgy hostel. It was about 20 bunk beds in one massive room. It was a sketchy place, Rab, not man.
Oh, aye. And this was in Whistler, aye?
This is in Whistler, Canada. Beautiful place. Well, with a start. Basically, the start of the holiday, me and the gang were out at some club, and I'm starting to talk to this lassie, right? Blonde lassie, big
Swing
lassie.
it right here, mate.
Big American lassie. She was travelling and all up in Whistler. Anyway, we ended up snogging and getting all randy, getting on randy way in the dance floor.
Oh, aye.
She started suggesting that we go back to my place, right? So now I possibly exaggerated when I was staying during my shit chat up. There was zero chance I was going to take her back to that dodgy hostel. There was absolutely no way.
Well, we have fucking nothing's happening there.
Nothing's happening there going back to that dive. So I started suggesting it's not too far away, we'd be better going back to hers. So no, she says I'm sleeping on a pull-out sofa in my pal's living room. So at this stage I'm at risk of losing out on a guaranteed shag, and it's been a fair old time at this point before I had any. So I keep persuading her until she agrees that we can back to hers and we both leave this club. So we get to her place, right? It's a flat high up in some block.
This is in Whistler?
This is in Whistler.
Right.
So we enter, and this place is fucking pitch black. There's a bit of moonlight coming through the living room windows, but I can barely see a thing. So we fumble our way to the fold-out sofa in the living room, which is our bed, and we start going at it, didn't we?
Bit less sex.
She keeps
having sex.
Well, you know, go kiss and tell again. Anyway, she keeps telling me to be quiet so we don't wake up one of our flatmates. She's kind of known about this quite a lot. She's persistent. So we go at it for about half an hour. We're going down on each other, shagging. Very enjoyable.
Fucking a lot of detail here, mate.
Then sleep. The next morning I waken to find myself in the sofa bed, a little disorientated, but I start to remember the night before. This lassie's still asleep next to me. I hear the stirring for the kitchenette, which is basically part of the living room. So I sit up and there's another lassie opening kitchen cupboards, probably making something for breakfast.
Aye.
Alright, I say. And the lassie gets a bit of fright at my voice, and she turns around and she smiles at me for a second, then she just stares at me, this really weird look on her face for about 15 seconds, saying absolutely nothing. Clearly this lassie I slept with wasn't supposed to bring folk home, because I'm getting the strangest look.
Are you getting the daggers? You're getting like...
The daggers?
Yeah, aye.
But I'm thinking, come on, we're all young, we're on holiday,
Well,
relax, calm your jets. Just then, flatmate 2, a guy walks in. And I'm just about to say, well, any chance of a coffee? He jumps about out his skin and looks at me like I've just insulted his maw. These people are fucking so uptight that they never bring a guy or lassie home, for fuck's sake. So by this point, there's me sat up awkwardly in the middle of these strangers' living rooms. The bird of Pult is still sound asleep. And I could really do with waking up at this point because this is awkward as fuck. So I start trying to make really shit small talk with a pair of flatmates in the hope that I'll wake her up. Flatmates, no having it, Rab. No interest in my chat. Just staring at me like I'm a trespasser. This is bad, right? I'm thinking, I just need to get the hell out of here. So
Aye.
I'm only, keep it like, you know, I'm only wearing my pants. All the other clothes are littered round the ground. I decide to grab all the clothes and get into the bathroom as quick as possible. What I'll do is I'll get dressed in there and just walk out the door. Right? Keep like, this takes about 3 attempts because the flare's sliding and I've not got a fucking clue where the bathroom is. So I open the door, it's a fucking cupboard, right? Then a kind of weird sort of bedroomy storagey area. I'm in there until I finally get in the bathroom, right? All this while the flatmates are just staring at me with their mouth open.
Aye.
What the actual fuck? So I get into the bathroom, I'm thirsty as a camel, so I get my mouth under the cold tap and I just drink and drink and drink and drink. Rab, I say to myself, that's a bit better. I look in the mirror. I scream. Staring back at me is a guy that looks like me. But this guy is covered head to torso in blood. No just blood, but deep, dark, red, dried on blood. With a big, dried on, purpley, clotty bits all over my face, ears, neck, chest. It's even my fucking teeth. Rab, I'm fucking losing it. What the fuck happened to me? So after a minute of panic, confusion and just disbelief, I realise she's a heavy flow girl on her period. And I've went down on her in the pitch black for like 10 minutes. Thought, so I wasn't making her super wet after all. Then I start seeing things coming from the flatmates' view. They've walked in their own living room. I've been sat up in their sofa bed looking like a maniac psycho who's just killed a flatmate. Going, alright, any chance of a coffee? I'm from Scotland, where are you from?
I can't believe what's happened to you, mate.
Oh, mate, fucking hell, I'm laughing thinking about it. Anyway, I hear a commotion from the living room. They've woken this lassie up, and now it's just total confusion. I open the door, and the lassie's right there. She says, you better leave. I sheepishly find the door, still in my pants, clutching my clothes, and I stumble into the hall grab. I get dressed in the corridor. It's 8 o'clock in the morning in Canada. Blowing a blizzard. The bus driver wouldn't let me go on, so I had to walk 3 miles back into the town to my hostel, where I finally got a shower. And that is the story, Rab, of how I spent the next few weeks nicknamed the Butcher of BC, British Columbia. Hiya, I'm from Scotland, where are you from? Henry Chicha Coffee.
Unbelievable, mate. Can't believe it happened to you. Let's go on to the next tune.
Aye, let's.
So who sent that insane story in?
He wants to be known as Cooper from Edinburgh. He says, just call me Cooper from Edinburgh. I'd appreciate it if you can just call me Cooper from Edinburgh. So I don't know whether Cooper is his right name, if you really are Cooper.
This sounds like a cover story for an actual murderer, doesn't it?
It's fucking worrying, man. But that fucking coffee thing's fucking brilliant, man. That's brilliant.
Beautiful. Now, if you have a Wrestling Daft Road story, it doesn't have to be anything to do with wrestling, just a funny story about your life. It's going to pop the boys. Drop us a DM on Twitter at Wrestling Daft or on the Facebook page.
I'd pop the girls as well.
Aye, but I mean in more like you know what we're the boys. The boys as in us. Is it going to pop us?
Sorry.
So that's it for Wrestling Daft. We need to choose a listener of the week, our first listener of the week of 2021. My suggestion is immediately going to be, I really like Chief J Strongbow Dark Fruits.
I loved that. I loved that. I also loved Jushin Super. What was it?
Oh, that's the one. So
Aye.
It's going to have to be Jushin Super Lager.
Jushin Super Lager.
Johnny is a listener of the week. Very, very close there. Just go to the wire. That's it for Wrestling Daft. Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple or get us in wherever you get your podcasts. Mind for more content for the video version of this show, get on board at patreon.com/Wrestling Daft. We want to make this show bigger and better through 2021. We're going to be flinging about ideas about changes that we can make and other things that we can do to really grow it, because we've got a good wee community here, and I think 2021 could be our year to become the best wrestling podcast in the world. Why not check out our merch at shop.spreadshirt.co.uk/Wrestling Daft as well, and wear it while you sit about the house.
Aye, it's like, you know what, I mean, I don't know if it causes me a hassle or it interrupts the show, but obviously I love connecting with the community, you know, and I know people come on and they get the questions, and that's a better experience for folk. But if you've got if there's something there that Rab said, if I've said, if John said, that's fucking really getting your goat, man, or you want to know something, you want to know some dirt, don't hesitate to email us, man. What do you think, John?
It's no, man. It's a two-way. This is a conversation. This is a conversation. It's your show, folks.
And if there's anybody you want us to interview as well, I know we don't do interviews as much, but I've started to get, we kind of, because I'm right back into the wrestling, I want to speak to a few guys. I've got a couple of ideas in my head who I really want to speak to. I really want to speak to fucking Vince Russo on this show.
Oh, that would be great.
I want to get Russo on, so.
That would be great. Let's try and get Russo, right? Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a happy new year, I'm going to say, even though Grado says we shouldn't be allowed. Have a happy new year and stay safe until we see you.
And remember, there is a yellow warning in place, and that is until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, so do not drive unless it is essential. And if you need any more travel advice, just listen to Go Radio. Just Alexa, launch Go Radio. I'm there every morning, Monday to Friday, with Crofty.
Catch Grado on Go Radio. And is there anywhere else they can catch you, John?
Oh, they can catch me on Clyde 1 starting from Monday. So I'm now Grado's radio rival. I'm the WWE and he's AEW.
Who's the only guy on this show who doesn't have a radio show? It's me! I'll just fucking look after my lanes.
You'd hate them breakfast radio.
Oh, you hate it, Rab.
It's no you, man.
Cheers, boys. Thanks for the support. You wouldn't like it anyway, Rab. You wouldn't like it anyway. So, right, cheers, folks.
You've got two baths, mate. You're brand new.
Speak to you next week.
How about it?
It's your hell.
Audio Frontier.